I prefer the coffee.
What up, though? It's your boy Coffee back with another one, and right here is Tax Stone throwing the space with no other than his dynamic duo, Raqi Thunder. They do a good job when they do a space. Salute to both of them. But they was talking about the DJ Academics case. Why is nobody talking about it? Is it because he's number one in hip hop media? But come on, man, we can't pick and choose. We can't pick and choose. So they were giving it up. They were like letting it be known that it's a serious case, it's something that should be talked about, not overlooked. Y'all give me y'all thoughts, comment, like, subscribe, enjoy, salute.
With these sexual things that wasn't supposed to be involved, you know what I mean? And my thing is like, yo, when you see a woman is too inebriated and you see she's too high and shit like that, sometimes that shit ain't even cute anyway. That's not even cute sex to have. You know what I mean? Especially like if it's not your girl. So you got to be cautious of dealing with women that's, highly intoxicated at the time, because things might happen that you think is okay. And especially if you highly intoxicated, you might do some things that might not be deemed okay in that woman's eyes also. You understand? So, I
Right.
don't know if that's the case or not, but you know what I mean? It just like,
I
I
mean,
don't know how dudes end
are
up
we
in
gonna
these
put
rapist
a
situations.
name? Are we gonna put a name on the bullet right now? Or what?
Oh yeah, we
Listening
was talking
out.
about DJ Academics. Yeah, we was talking about DJ Academics and
Okay, so I believe
the
Jameson. You can
lawsuit,
put that in the jumbotron.
that was going on with him, you know what I mean? And it's like, just like I said, I said something, specifically to DJ Academics not too long ago, because I was like, yo, bro, y'all have to stop speaking on cases that, you don't really know the facts about, you know what I mean? Because that's very dangerous, you know what I mean? Speaking about things that, that possibly could be false. People can make accusations, you know what I mean? And we don't know
Right.
if they're true or not. And you don't know if it's true or not, even in the court of law, if they say it's true. You know what I
Right.
mean? So the thing is that, when you're doing that, you're slandering somebody and you're spreading propaganda, you're spreading false, or, you know what I mean? So it's like you have to be very careful about these things when you talk about them. But the reason I'm talking about them is because Academics is very okay with speaking about everybody's situations, regardless of which way it's going, regardless if it's truth to it or lies. So I feel like, you know what I mean? If he's not going to speak on his situations and give us some insight, then we got to speak about it. You know what I mean? We got to speak about it. We got to say what's going on. Is this a thing that's been going on with you? Because like you know, some of us ain't never had problems getting ladies. You know what I mean? Some of us just be ourselves and get ladies. Some of us never had to make a red cent in order to get a woman. You know what I mean? Some of these dudes have not started having sex until they became popular. When you look at some of these women that are accusing or having sex with this dude, it's not because they deem him handsome. It's not because they deem him. They might be seeking some sort of opportunity, you know what I mean, from him, and saying, yo, maybe, he got some money, you know what I mean, he could give. But like, ain't no women dealing with that nigga because, you know what I mean, they thought he was some wild, handsome dude and shit. Ain't no bitch never said that about that nigga. So, now that he's able to try to have sex and things like that with the women that he deems, his taste, you know what I mean? Because I always tell niggas, right? A woman one time told me, she was like, oh, I like, guys that's above 6'2" with long dreads and dark, nice skin and all this shit. And I was like, well, have you ever had one of them niggas? And she was like, no. And I understood that because my type of car is a Bugatti and I've never had one either. You know what I mean? So I say that to say, some dudes get, some money and now they go after the women that they like. These women don't necessarily like them. You understand?
And they know it, so they go in with anger and aggression, and really don't even like women at this point,
That could be true because,
right?
I see he's very aggressive with women. You know what I mean? Like too aggressive, actually. You know what I mean? Like I catch myself arguing with women sometimes and I check myself and I say, hold on, we're not doing that. And I fall back. You know what I mean? So I get away from that kind of shit because I be like, yo, it's a woman at the end of the day. I can't win. I'm not going to fight her. You know what I mean? So I'm going to let her deal with her emotions because as a man, you shouldn't be fully in no emotions. You should be dealing with more intelligence than anything. You know what I mean? As men, we can't get caught up in our emotions. Our emotions will really get us in trouble. You know what I mean? But yeah, like I was saying, it's sad to see this going on, and just the accusations that she's saying is like kind of nuts. It's like, yo, this shit gotta be brought up, and we gotta speak on it, and we gotta. I want to know if this is like a thing that's going on, because a lot of women are claiming this type of shit on different dudes. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't necessarily know if it's true or not. And I also believe, let me state this very clear: if a woman is lying on a man about a rape or rape accusations, I believe that there should be a law that puts her ass in jail for it, because a rape accusation
I
is
agree.
very hard to get off your resume. Even if you found innocent, somebody will still remember you as being a rapist. You know what I mean? It could end your business. It could end your mother and son relationship. It could end your relationship at church. It's a very dangerous thing to accuse somebody of. So
Mhm.
I say that to say, we seen the accusations made about Diddy, and we seen Akademiks is one of the forefront in this shit. So you would think that a dude that was at the forefront of this type of discussion would be somebody that never had no dabblements in that kind of shit. You understand?
Absolutely. I'm also curious to know. I think he's denied the allegations, but here's the thing: whether you were a part of it or not, if that happened in your house with your friends, why didn't you speak on them? You speak on everyone else. Why didn't you denounce your friendship with them and what they had going on?
Yeah, he doesn't
Because
mind
he's
snitching.
involved.
Why he didn't snitch on nobody yet? He don't mind snitching. That's his thing. He hangs with snitches. He know what I mean? Like, why hasn't he spoken on it?
All right, let's be honest though. This is my house. These are my niggas. I don't know what exactly they got into. It. I. This is a touchy situation. I got a brand. I got a business. I'm not trying to fuck my shit up. I'm not saying shit on that. No matter what.
Hmm.
Call it a hypocrite. Call it what you want. But I don't think anybody would either though. Honestly,
No, honestly, if it was me, it'd be the polar
Let me
opposite. I
tell you
have a
something.
brand. You disrespected my house. I'm on every fucking camera. These fuck boys did this in my house.
you're
Execute
also a
I'll
them
give
woman
you a
though.
story
off of their
right
fucking
now.
head.
You're
In
also a woman.
Atlanta, one time at A3C, right? I was sleeping. I rented a house out there. I had a couple fellows out there that was involved with A3C, a couple artists. And in the middle of the night, I woke up, and the first thing I heard was no, I don't want to have sex with you. Get off of me. And the first thing I did was jump up, very, very aggressively. I jumped up and I said, hold on, miss. You shut the fuck up and he shut the fuck up. Which one of these niggas did what to who? And I made it clear right there. And now these niggas are alive and well. They'll tell you what I told them. I said, nigga, if any of you niggas did anything to this female, not only am I gonna do something to you, I'm gonna call the cops on you and let them know what you did to her. You understand? Because this is a house I rented just now that's in my name, you know what I mean? And y'all are in here, and this girl says she don't want nothing to do with you. The dude that she had wanted something to do with was in the other room sleep, and she already did what she wanted to do with him. You understand? So that's one of my biggest things. We're not gonna be playing with the rape game. We don't play like that. We don't play like that at all. You understand? You know what I mean? So it's like, if my friends rape something in the house, them niggas will be told on. I've never snitched in my life or informed on any crime in my life. But if you rape something around me, nigga, I am telling. And I'm gonna tell your mother, you understand? And I'm gonna tell everybody else, because that's not a crime, that's not a law that's to be broken. You understand? We're not doing that in no capacity whatsoever. I don't want nobody to ever believe that that's okay. You know what I mean?
I feel that, but let me ask you a question. You think you and academics are cut from the same cloth?
I know we not cut from the same cloth. I'm cut from the cloth from the side of a bandana. He's cut from the cloth the size of a Texas. So it's like, of course, I know we not cut from the same cloth. You know what I mean? We
You feel what I'm saying?
definitely three different people. But I be trying to, like, I try to put my beliefs and morals out there. You know what I mean? To let people know where I stand, and to let people know where people stand who think like me. You know what I mean? These dudes don't think like me. You know what I mean? And I understand that a lot of people don't think like me, and a lot of people think my thinking is toxic, or my thinking is something they don't want to think like. A lot of people think that, my situation is a horrible situation. They like, oh, but if I don't think like you, Texas, I wouldn't have been in jail. And I'm like, yeah, I understand that you would be in hell. You understand? Because my thinking says don't go to hell, go to jail first. You understand? So that's just my thinking. But I don't know about, you know what I mean, other people and the way they think. But when it comes to rape and shit like that, we not playing like that. We don't play, we don't dabble in that kind of shit whatsoever. You understand? In no shape, form, or fashion. None.
100%. 100%. Here's my thing. If I'm not the one raping Shorty, I don't want shit to do with that situation. What my quote unquote niggas did, the niggas I'm cool with, whatever they did, that's what they did. I'm not involving myself in that shit. I don't want my name nowhere near that shit.
But if it happened in your residence or it happened in somewhere you a house you rented, like it's still keep your mouth shut. It's still I don't know what happened. No, I know who the fuck was in that room. I know who was in this house with me, and I know my dick ain't have nothing to do with no penetrations. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you. I think this is a way like that takes a certain amount of courage. That takes a certain amount of shit for a woman. And if we're gonna be all the way honest, he don't really care about. Like we read those text messages. He don't really care about Shorty. This not my mom. This not my sister. This not even really my homegirl like that. This a jump off who I popped one time and some shit happened to her. Shorty, that ain't got shit to do with me. You gonna have to figure that out.
Now I understand that, and I understand that type of situation. You know, Charlemagne was in that type of situation when he was in high school. You know, he had his uncles and them I mean his cousins and them was high school football players. They had a party, and a girl got raped in the house or whatever, and he got charged with it too. But the reason he beat it was because his DNA wasn't involved or whatever. He said he never had sex with the girl or whatever. But the point is that if I know that you was in this house with me when a rape took place, that's the day you calling me a snitch. Because I ain't no motherfucker doing no rapes around me, period. It's not happening. My name is never going to be caught up in a rape. Like, it's just not happening, no capacity. Now, legally, yes, I understand if you want to stay out of it because, you know, it's civil litigation going on and shit like that. But that is my whole point of telling people, shut the fuck up when people have cases going on, because you do not know if the accusations are true or not. You're spreading propaganda. You understand? And spreading that type of propaganda is highly dangerous because people lose their businesses. A woman attacked Judge Kavanaugh, the Supreme Court justice, and said, yo, he grabbed my titty in college. This dude is 60 something years old, and she's 70, and said he grabbed my titty in college. She was trying to make sure that he didn't become the Supreme Court justice. My thing is this dude been a judge for years. Did you not remember that he grabbed your titty when he first became a judge? You understand? And how do you investigate somebody who grabbed the titty, 40 years ago?
Grabbing a titty in rape, I feel like two different levels though.
Listen, I've grabbed many titties without permission. I've slapped ass without permission. I've done a lot of things without permission that I am not ashamed to say. And now today I understand that it might have been disrespectful or it might have been wrong. And I'm not ashamed to say it because I have done it. Now, what bothers me is the men who act like they've never been in these types of situations. They've never done things of that nature. And what happens is that it makes it seem like, you always felt that these things were taboo. But listen, in culture, things are all taboo at different stages. In the 80s, in the early 90s, taking a Quaalude was something regular. That was not called a date rape drug. Later on in the late 90s, early 2000s, this turned into the date rape drug when this was a thing that women indulged in and men indulged in very regularly. It wasn't looked down upon in the culture. But you'll never get a man to raise his hand and say, yo, we was doing Quaaludes in the 80s because they don't want people they don't want to get their job taken from them today. You know what I mean? And this goes back to the conversations that I have about racism and things like that, and having an opinion about a certain group. If we can't have real dialogue and say, yo, listen, I thought this about Jewish people at one time, but now I understand this. Oh, I thought this about black people at one time, but now I understand this. We got to come to a common ground and be honest about shit. So everybody's not feeling that things were taboo that a whole group of people were actually doing. Raise your hand and say, yo, I did that before. I didn't mean to do it. I should not have done it. Now that I understand that it's wrong, but I have done it. You understand? And I think that's one of the biggest issues, that men are scared to be themselves and say the bullshit that they did back then, if it was taboo or not.
Nah, that's a fact, right? You 100% right about that. I don't think that's wrong. I just think that's almost theoretical in a sense because nobody's doing that shit. Like, nobody wants to be the one to stand up. Because when niggas stand up by themselves, they fold. That's the reason niggas join gangs, join groups, had to move as a movement. Nobody wants to be the lone soldier out there doing what's right. Because motherfuckers are gonna get them out the way. If we gonna have the honesty a lot with the rape conversation, the rape shit, it's touchy because it's a primitive act and we live in a civilized society. You feel what I'm saying? So even the rape conversation is so deep. Did the bitch get raped or not? We don't know. Shorty, did you just get tossed and not want to fuck? You know how many girls I know were in situations where they quote unquote didn't feel they could say no, so they had sex? Bitch, you could have been said no, you just didn't feel like you could. So now, because of your feelings, because you didn't have the courage and the strength to say stop, that nigga has to get locked up, or worse, he has to get ostracized. The rape conversation, for real, isn't a real conversation anybody wants to have, because at the end of the day, everybody's guilty of some shit. And niggas aren't trying to lose their job. They're not trying to get looked at the way. Motherfuckers can't be real with themselves, Tax. You can't ask me motherfuckers to be real with the world.
I agree.
Raqi trying to get back up too.
Hold on, I'm trying to get up right now. I'm trying to get up right now. I don't know what happened. Somebody, you probably kicked out.
Yeah, it was me. I was
And
like,
then
nah, bro.
she popped up and disappeared just now, I think. I
Disappeared.
don't know what happened.
I lost a connection. I'm back.
Listen, Raqi, you got to get rid of that Boost Mobile, and this is why you got to make up with Joe Button, because Joe Button would have had you with a
Yo, shut
AT&T
the fuck.
plan.
I'm not even gonna let you get that shit off. No, I ain't gonna let you get that shit off.
All his bitches got AT&T. I got this guy. We
Fuck
got to give.
out of
Something got to
here.
give. You understand?
You gonna make me violate you for no reason on a Sunday.
Please don't violate me. Please, I'm sick of getting violated. I get violated every day. Every time police talk to me, I feel violated.
Yeah. So apparently during that situation with academics, he gave the police everything that they requested of him. Apparently, I don't know how deep that goes or not.
Hmm.
JMO, I want to say I'm kind of happy that this isn't a recorded space because your take came off a
I'm
little
a nigga who
crazy.
lives his truth, Raqi, bro. Let the shit be recorded. Set me up, bro. It is what it is, man.
Yeah, I think your take came off a little bit crazy. I get what you're saying, but it came off a little crazy, a
How
little
so?
loud. How so? I mean, just you don't know the lady, you don't know what happened, and just the way how you're speaking on her in a disparaging language kind of makes the if she is a victim, it kind of is like victim saying it was a bitch he popped off on. It was a bitch he fucked one time. Like you doing too much. Like if that was your sister, whether you knew or not what the situation was, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't want anyone addressing her that way if she were a victim.
Would I want anybody addressing my sister as a bitch? No, because that's my sister. But that's the way I speak. I didn't mean it
I know.
disrespectfully,
I'm just
but
correcting some shit in an intense topic because, like recently, there was um there was a post with Saucy Santana, right, and they spoke about him being molested and groomed by his cousin, a male cousin, right, and his mother tends to think that his gender has been bended because of that, and I found it
gender is sexuality.
sexuality. My bad. Sexuality was bended because he was groomed by a male cousin who he had sex with from the age of 9 to 16 years old. What I found to be so amazing about that whole situation was the comments. There was thousands and thousands and thousands of comments from male and females that discussed being raped and molested and all of the things. So I think it's a conversation that should be had, but should be addressed a little bit more gently.
Why? Why should it be addressed gently?
Why wouldn't it be addressed gently? We're talking about victims and possible victims.
I
Yeah,
think
but
I
I'm
think that
asking.
when it comes to this kind of thing, that people just need to be bluntly truthful, because when we actually be gentle about it, we don't get to see
Exactly.
people's true feelings. and
Exactly.
and I think that's one of the biggest issues, is that we don't get to see how people really think. That's why I don't think that, him speaking differently, let him speak the way he wants to speak, because that's the way he speaks. And it's like, when you allow, the culture to say, yo, you shouldn't think like that, or you shouldn't. No, you listen. When you dealing with I never forget when I was in the hospital for getting shot in my eye. The nurse told me, She said, yeah, you wouldn't have got shot in your face if you wasn't selling drugs. And I didn't get shot for selling drugs. Like, and it was just judgmental. And at the time, I looked at the bitch. I'm like, you old Jamaican bitch, fuck you. You know what I mean? And but I understood as a grown man when I got older, I understood what she was saying. She's always in the hospital, probably seeing dudes getting shot and things of that nature. And maybe she could have said it to me a little bit more sensitively, but sometimes you need that blunt talk and you need to just know people's feelings. You know what I mean? People are, a lot of people is hiding their feelings on what they feel about everything in life because they're afraid of how other people might look at it and the backlash that comes with it. You know what I mean? It's like even when Mike Rubin just said what he said on Breakfast Club, everybody was like, no, he shouldn't have said that. No, if he felt that way, that's exactly what he should have said. The same way if a motherfucker feels like calling you a nigga, he should jump out and call you a nigga. I want to know that a motherfucker feel like I'm a nigga.
So what are your thoughts on course correction, especially when we're talking about someone who's of a younger age? Like let's take Jameson, for instance. He's 24, am I correct? 24 years old. What are
Yes.
your thoughts on course
24 years
correction
old.
when
24
you
years
see
on this
someone
planet.
who you know has great potential, right? But their mindset hasn't been properly, or they're displaying or having conversations that could be corrected in a way that you could plant seeds or help them see things from a different perspective before shit goes totally left. You don't agree with that? Text?
Nah, I do. I understand what you're saying. Like, I understand that. And I understand being sensitive to victims, especially women, because I understand that women are highly, way more sensitive than men. I'm not even going to say that because that might be a lie. I can't say that women are more sensitive than men. Men might be more sensitive than women, but I
These
know
newer age ones for sure.
I
Men are
have a
more
soft
emotional.
spot. I have a soft spot for women with a lot of different things, you know what I mean? And I remember a girl that I was having sex with when I was younger, and like I never did anal sex before, and she was like, put it in my ass. And I was like, what? I'm like, I ain't doing that shit. And then she was like, what? Put it in my ass, nigga, you scared? And I was like, I don't know, like I ain't with that shit. And then, when I spoke to her later on in life, and I was like, yo, you don't remember when we was 14, you was telling me put it in your ass? She was like, yo, what's crazy? My stepfather used to rape me and he used to do that to me. And I was like, oh shit. And this was something that I never knew, you know what I mean? And then that was kind of at the moment when I kind of realized that a lot of family members raped female family members in their families. And I started feeling like I started feeling bad for a lot of women. So what I did was I started asking a lot of women who were highly sexual when we was younger. I asked them like, yo, you ever was raped before? And I kept asking, and come to find out the majority of them were raped. Not saying that a woman might not get horny when she's young, but I'm saying that a lot of women that was like highly promiscuous when we was younger got touched by older men when they was younger.
Yep. Yep.
On the Saucy Santana topic, Rocky, I feel you.
Shout out to Saucy
It-
Santana. That's my son. I like Saucy Santana. You know why? Because he be calling these niggas the fuck out. That's why I like Saucy Santana, and they scared of him. Because guess what? I believe that Saucy Santana fuck a lot of these niggas up. That's why I like Saucy. I just had a whole bunch of gay dudes beating up Muslim dudes in C95. I just had that. That's why I like them niggas.
I just had that.
Yeah, I just
it-
had that going on. Some Muslim niggas talking crazy. I paid the gay niggas. I said, go beat them niggas the fuck up. Fuck around with these punk motherfuckers. But yeah, shout out to my gay friends out there, because shout out to my gay friends that can fight. I like y'all dudes. I need y'all around, because that is the funniest shit when a straight man get his ass beat by a gay man. The funniest shit is when a straight man always talking shit to a woman, but then be scared of the gay man. That is the funniest shit on the fucking planet. I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't give a fuck what sex you are, none of that shit. My hands is bisexual, trisexual, all that shit. So just pull up if you want. That's what type of time I'm on. But anyway, we gonna get off the violence. Shout out to Saucy Santana. Don't nobody got that nigga number? Call that nigga up.
Who's Saucy?
Yeah, ain't nobody know Saucy.
Nah, I don't know Saucy.
Because when he was out here telling niggas he wanted to fight, I was crying. Because I said, they don't want to fight that nigga. Because gay dudes be having a lot of fights. Them niggas, they relationships is more violent than women and men. I'm telling you now. I remember Ryo had a studio next to the gay club in Midtown. Every night we used to come out that studio, and it'd be 20 gay dudes fighting. I used to be rolling. I said, these motherfuckers is violent. Look, Jameson over there in Chicago with that Boost Mobile connection. You see his shit, right? Shit talking about connected. Talking all that shit about Raqi. Nigga, get your shit together, nigga. Y'all niggas better go get that Elon Musk Starlink and stop playing.
Wow.
Is it like, I know in New York,
Co-host me
you
so we
know,
have a better signal. That's what they told me. That shit works for people. I don't know.
I thought you was co-hosting.
No, you being real disrespectful today. I'll tell you that much.
Nah, you got Boost Mobile. You gotta get your life together.
Who's that? Coffee?